Hey folks, here at OS Reviews. You're watching our video review of the MINIX NEO X8-H. This is a quad-core Android television box that connects to an HD television via the HDMI cable and allows you to play games, browse the web, watch YouTube videos, watch Hulu streaming videos, and do anything you really want with an Android smartphone but on a larger TV experience that's optimized for your television set. The MINIX NEO X8-H offers some pretty impressive specs for the money. On the side here you can see it actually has 4K Ultra HD resolution support, so it can play back very sharp video content directly on your television. It also supports Android 4.4 KitKat right out of the box, so you have access to all the most popular and updated apps in the Google Play Store. There's also access to, of course, Wi-Fi itself. There's the quad-core CPU, and of course you also have a octa-core GPU, the Mali 450 actually, for a pretty impressive gaming performance, which we'll see in a moment. There's also 2GB of RAM and 16GB of built-in flash storage, further expandable via a full SD card slot located on the side of the product. The packaging itself is actually quite nice, and the product can be purchased on Amazon.com for a price of around $160. A pretty fair deal to pay for a pretty top-end, in terms of specs, Android TV box that connects to your device. Otherwise, again, we are fans of the minimalistic packaging. There's some more specs located on the back. Something I should point out about this particular product is that if you order it now, you actually have access to a limited offer where you get a free Air remote control inside the package. Now, there's already a remote control included in the packaging, but this one is a bit higher quality, so you can get actually a second one going. And the benefits of this one that's included is the fact that it has a built-in rechargeable lithium-ion battery, so you just need to plug your device into the micro USB slot, charge it up, and you can always use this. The one that's included in the package ready actually takes standard AAA batteries, so it operates on a little bit more power than on a rechargeable one. This product also has a better aesthetic overall because it has a slightly brushed finish, which looks pretty nice, and of course it's an Air remote as well, and of course it comes with a standard 2.4G wireless controller or receiver, and you plug this into any Mac device or any PC. It's going to work as an Air mouse on other operating systems as well. Taking a closer look at the packaging, inside we have access directly to a user manual, which is printed in full color, and also we have access to a more detailed instructions guide, printed in black and white, and finally we have access to the MINIX actual television box itself. We're going to take a look at the hardware of this product in a moment. Below the box itself, we have access to the aforementioned included remote control, which is a bit more plasticky, not as high-end in terms of construction quality, but we still have access to the same controls, the same Air mouse functionality. We have the four-way navigation toggles, the Android controls on the top, the power on and off switch, and also the volume keys down in the center there. Also, we have access to a OTG adapter in the packaging. This is on the go, which allows you to connect other devices via the micro USB cable. For example, I can connect a smartphone now, plug it into my Android box, and it allows me to actually view content from my smartphone directly on the Android box itself, which is quite impressive. It's a nice accessory to have. Inside here, we also have access to a micro USB cable, which is used to power and charge the aforementioned Air remote control. And also have access to an antenna for you to extend the range of the Wi-Fi, which is pretty important. And impressively, the company actually includes an HDMI cable right in the packaging, so you don't need to provide your own. It's a full-size HDMI one, which connects on one end to the box itself, and on the other end to your TV. It's also gold-plated for a pretty tight connection. Also here, we have access to the AC adapter, which again plugs into the MINIX TV box itself and allows you to have power to operate the product, and it has a pretty long cord length, which is appreciated. Now, if you take a look at the design of the actual TV box itself, we can see it's crafted out of a slab of black plastic, although it has a very good weight to it. I'm a fan of how the actual plastic doesn't have any edges on the outside corners, which provides a very streamlined look, and it gives it a modern appeal, which is something that I think makes the product a bit more attractive in design. On the side here is where you put in the antenna for the actual Wi-Fi unit, and you'll see that on the right-hand side of the product, you have access to the power on and off switch, which is tactile and easy to press. You have a 3.5mm headphone jack if you don't want to use the built-in speakers through your television. There's also a built-in microphone port, a USB 2.0 port, a aforementioned SD card port, and the OTG port. The back of the unit houses the HDMI port for connecting to your TV, a reset pen, and also you have an optical audio port for you to connect to a more professional stereo sounding set if you want to listen to music or again play back movies. There's two additional USB ports and also an Ethernet port if you don't want to use Wi-Fi to browse the web. And finally, there is the adapter port. The back of the unit is pretty plain except for 4 rubber feet that prevent the device from sliding on a surface or a desk, and also features the Android logo, which provides a pretty colorful juxtaposition with the MINIX NEO X8 X8-H is indeed a pretty powerful Android TV box. It allows you to play back 4K video at an impressive frame rate and resolution on your television, and it's actually very easy to set up. We never experienced too much stuttering in terms of the CPU and GPU performance when playing back games and browsing even heavy flash content sites such as the New York Times, and overall it's a great purchase if you are looking for an Android box to play back streaming video and games on a TV without the need to plug in your Android smartphone. It's powerful, it's reliable, and offers a pretty good value for your money. As such, we would definitely recommend the MINIX Neo X8-H if you are, again, looking for a high-performing Android TV box. You can check out our full review of this product down in the description box below, but this has been our video review. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews. Folks, here at OS Reviews, now we're taking a look at the performance aspect of the MINIX Neo X8-H Android box. As you can see here, the most interesting thing about this product is it actually offers two versions of skins on top of Android. The traditional version that's offered is a pretty vanilla build, and it's, as you might expect, a pretty standard version of Android. We can toggle through that by pressing on the home key over here, and that takes us to the standard traditional Android home screen. But what you saw over there a moment ago was actually called MINIX UI, and it's a skin on top of Android itself, just like Xiaomi's MIUI is on top of Android, or maybe HTC Sense, or even Samsung's TouchWiz. You can see how all the icons are a little bit larger and easier to press, which makes things a little bit more manageable because you have a air remote to control things and not your finger for touch, so it's a little bit easier to use. The actual grid-like interface, which correspond with these green and black colors, is something that I think is pretty nifty and appealing in terms of visual effects, and also reminds me of Windows 8's Tile and Metro UI, or also a mix between Xbox's system and perhaps a Windows 8 tablet. So it's pretty interesting to see this being incorporated by the manufacturer and shows them work by their part. This UI skin on top of Android is pretty simplistic, and you can basically customize your different applications by selecting and dragging different ones you want to install. For example, I want a gallery here. I can simply tap on that, confirm it, and it's going to add a pretty large icon in a tile-like layout down below here. So it's simplistic. It's not as customizable in terms of widgets or anything like that, but you can see how you have easy access to all your icons, including your Bluetooth wireless options on the very top of the screen over there, and your time information is nice and large, and you still have access to all your different programs and apps simply by pressing on the All Apps app drawer. And you can see how everything is basically expanded as well, so it's easier to see. As far as the remote control experience is considered, we have to say that it's pretty responsive with the bundled Air mouse. It's actually the original version that's bundled with it is not as responsive in terms of range as the bonus exclusive time offer that you can get free if you actually purchase this TV box now through Amazon. And the version here is actually a little bit more responsive than the one, again, natively supported in the box, which we are happy to see. Again, the product supports Wi-Fi, supports Bluetooth, it supports LAN, and all of those different functions are wirelessly capable, and they also perform pretty well. As far as Wi-Fi performance, the range is definitely pretty good, so we could browse the web without any issues or any hiccups, and we can play streaming videos through YouTube, Hulu Plus without any issues at all. So taking a look at some applications that are pre-installed by the manufacturer, you can see that we do have access to the full Google Play Store. So this is a nice feature on here. Not all kind of TV boxes actually include this, but it's actually here. You can see you can actually download your favorite movies very easily. You can download your favorite games, your different apps, and all of those will work just fine just because it's the most up-to-date version of Android 4.4 KitKat. Some other applications that are pre-installed includes access to Google Play Store, all the Google services. There's also a special app installer by the manufacturer, settings for the Mi Box. There's also Google Miracast pre-installed, which is pretty awesome. That essentially allows you to, with a compatible phone, allow you to mirror content from your phone screen directly onto your TV through the Android box. So it's another layer of connectivity that we are excited to see. There's also a built-in 4K movie player. This actually supports a wide range of different video formats, including MP4, all the popular formats basically will be supported. You can even download directly from YouTube, and all those movies will play back in pretty vivid 4K resolution. During our movie playback, we found that at first the device was the fastest, and later on, it got a little bit slower over time, but still it didn't have any issues with playing back 1080p or 4K movies for the most part, and it was still pretty responsive as far as scrubbing and the definition is considered. Of course, with audio, it basically uses your television's audio set, or of course, if you have your TV connected to a separate audio system, so we didn't have any issues with the sound quality, which is definitely good. And again, video support is pretty wide. There's also some other applications pre-installed, including an Antutu benchmark test, which is pretty nice. There's also a Skype pre-installed, so you can take some video chats. Again, the Android box doesn't have a video camera built in, so you have to plug one in into the USB port on the device. There's also AirPen Pro built onto the product, a file manager. You also have a version of Netflix down below here that's built in, which is pretty nice. And there's also a Wi-Fi analyzer, and finally a more standard Android player down below here for playing back videos that aren't in 4K. Again, the Wi-Fi analyzer allows the user to know if they're in range of a Wi-Fi connection and how strong their connection is. So not a ton of bloatware. Basically, you have some essentials here. There's not anything installed by any carrier or anything like that. And I have to say that most of these products, including this Media Center by DLNA, is actually pretty useful. So we do like the fact that it's a fairly clean install of Android. So overall, we do like, again, the MINIX skin. If you do want a very simplistic, easy-to-use interface, if you don't want to access as many applications, definitely go for this. But if you do plan on using your product, again, for widgets, for playing a lot of different games, and you want to customize it, we would recommend using the traditional Android home screen over here. And you can see how you have access to your different widgets, your home wallpapers, and you can see how the layout for the apps is a little bit more condensed and more like the one that you might find on your tablet or smartphone. So overall, a pretty good experience as far as this is considered. If we wanted to put, for example, a widget, we simply drag on it, put it onto the home screen. You can see how it's pretty responsive. We're just going to cancel this because we don't have any images, but overall, the entire experience is lucid. It's pretty fast, and we didn't have any issues. So the quad-core CPU really comes into play here, and we didn't experience, again, any issues with stuttering or speeds. So performance is definitely great. As far as playing back games is considered, it's also a pretty good experience. We didn't have any lag as far as playing back some popular video games such as Angry Birds, Temple Run, Tank. All of those games didn't have any issues, which we are excited about. Taking a look at actually the web browsing experience, it's not the greatest out there simply because, again, you don't have access to a built-in actual keyboard, so typing in text is a little bit of a hindrance, but still the speeds are very much responsive, and you have the built-in Android keyboard, which is a pretty nice experience overall, so it's pretty fast. So for example, I want to type in the New York Times, we can simply type that in, take a look at that. New York Times is kind of a benchmark as far as a very complex site with a lot of different flash elements and different videos. The device itself actually supports video directly, so you actually do have the capability to play back video from the browser itself. So if you have a YouTube link from the web browser, you can actually play it back, so it's pretty impressive. You can see how everything loads very, very fast, and we don't have any issues with speed at all. We can scroll up and down. Kinetic scrolling is supported. For zooming in and out, of course, you don't have multi-touch, at least not on this particular controller, but you can still definitely zoom manually through the keys. And you can see we can read all the icons as you would really want on a desktop device. So speed really isn't an issue on this product. It's quite fast. You can play back videos. They don't have any issues, and we are pretty pleased about that overall experience. Taking a look at some other applications that are native on this particular TV box, of course, you might notice that if you want to download more TV applications, you have to go to the Google Play Store to do that yourself. Again, it supports 4K video, but it's best suited for your own 4K videos. If you stream 4K videos, it takes a little bit more time, and it needs some time to buffer the videos, and it takes, again, just 2 or 3 seconds longer before you can fully play them. Otherwise, it still does a pretty good job of those applications. You have a few live wallpapers you can select from that also work as well, so you can definitely customize the product if you, again, don't want the traditional kind of green and black look, which I personally think is pretty unique and fun on this particular product. So overall, it definitely works. Pretty good audio experience, pretty good video experience. Speeds are respectable, performance is respectable, and overall, not too much lag going on, which is definitely a look to take a look at how actually video experience works from the native browser. So if we click on our first video on our site, this is the LG Optimus S review that we did a few months back, so we can just tap on that, and it should start playing almost instantaneously. So this is a HD video. You can see how it works pretty fast, and again, the audio is very, very good. We can, of course, go to the full screen mode, and that works even better. And of course, it's a pretty good experience. Again, the back buffering down here is very fast. You can see how pretty much the video has loaded already. This yellow stripe you see across the screen here is only appearing on my camera for some reason. It's a little bit strange. Definitely not something that you get on the actual device. So pretty good streaming quality. Again, the speeds are very, very fast. Let's try scrubbing down below here so I can actually scrub down to a video that I want, and I can play on it. You can see it's almost instantaneous, so it's very, very fast. Something else I wanted to note is that the actual Air remote controller actually has haptic feedback as well. So if you're pressing on something, it actually vibrates along with you. So it's just like a phone. It actually has a vibration sensor. The MINIX NEO X8-H is quite an impressive Android TV media box. It performs as you might expect it to, with pretty decent video playback performance, video streaming performance, and it includes all the basic Android applications like the Google Play Store that you would expect from a traditional Android tablet or smartphone, so you have access to all your favorite programs that you can download and install. The Air mouse that's included is actually quite responsive, and the streaming quality through YouTube and Hulu Plus were also pretty much right on point. You can check out our full written review down in the description box below, and we would definitely give this particular Android TV box 2 thumbs up. It's fast, it's sleek, and it outpaces many of its competitors in terms of the speed and the performance. Thanks for watching this video review here at OS Reviews, and be sure to subscribe if you found this video interesting. Thanks for watching.